Greetings on this most marvelous of days. Today, we are being graced with the presence of not one superstar of action, but two. For today, we are watching Tango and Cash.
Tango, it's Cash. Tango and Cash, Cash and Tango.
Starring Sylvester Stallone and Kurt Russell. And this is probably one of the most requested movies I have had on the channel so far, and the patrons couldn't have agreed more, because they hand-selected today's video. So, let's go arrest some baddies and get framed for a crime we did not commit, because this is Redeye Reviews.
Okay, let's do it.
We start with Tango driving after a tanker truck on a long road, and the truck is fastly reaching the end of his jurisdiction.
Glad you could drop in.
And if this stunt looks familiar, it's because it is. This stunt is actually kind of like a little love letter to one of our all-time legends of action, Jackie Chan. For in his movie Police Story back in 1985, he did this very thing. Jackie responded to this nod in his own movie a couple years later called Super Cop, so when we get to that scene, I'm going to make sure to point it out.
Hey, Kevin, what the hell's going on here?
We checked the whole truck, asshole. There's nothing in it.
He thinks he's Rambo.
Rambo is a pussy.
Oh, very edgy, very self-aware of you, friend. But Rambo does have a hunch that this truck is full of something, and it ain't gas. We see it is in fact full of drugs. And now those drugs are all over some random highway. So, good luck sweeping up the evidence. It would kind of suck if a slight gust of wind were to come by. But we do see some old rich guy drives by. He's all pissed about the drug bust. Maybe a little foreshadowing. But we cut to our other good friend, Cash. And I have just a few questions. Like, your mirror doesn't have another side to it? Or, did this dude hollow out the wall? I'm not sure. Also, you just hang out at home in a bulletproof vest? Or maybe he's shooting blanks. I don't know. Either way, Cash gives this felon a good chasing. Thankfully, our boy does finally stop the assassin.
What's the matter, Ace? Got a little headache?
Tango talks to this girl, Catherine, in his office. She's played by Teri Hatcher, who, confession time here, I had the biggest crush on her when she was in a movie called Tomorrow Never Dies, one of the James Bonds that I grew up with. I know he's not everybody's favorite, but, again, I was a kid. I liked it a lot. But Cash shows up to his office.
Hey, who's been fucking with my gun? Sights shifted on it.
I'm not actually sure if you could adjust the sights on a gun like that. But, I'm not Kurt Russell. Maybe you can. Maybe you know something I don't. But Cash heads into the bathroom. He breaks a lot of laws to torture this gunman he just arrested, trying to find out who hired him. And while we're on the topic of Kurt Russell, here's a fun little fact for you. He was originally offered the role of Martin Riggs in a movie called Lethal Weapon. Maybe you've heard of it. He turned that down, though, to pursue other movies, and then roughly within a few years' time, Patrick Swayze was offered the role of Cash in this movie, and he turned that down to do a movie that we just watched on the channel called Roadhouse. So in a weird kind of perfect storm of people turning down jobs, the role of Cash went to Kurt Russell. But we cut to the bad guys. They run a large criminal organization led by a man named Perret. I'm going to call him Parrot because I'm lazy. But they are growing really tired of Tango and Cash. And our baddie leader demonstrates his frustration with a rather elaborate setup.
You're part of the city. Ray Tango. Two little mice. Instead of death, a game that only we can win will be safely tucked away. Aren't they beautiful?
I have no clue why you have mice in a box, but I guess it does get your point across. And his point is to basically trap Tango and Cash into looking like they committed a crime that they didn't do to make them martyrs instead of just killing them. But with both parties being given a lead to the next drug bust, they head to a warehouse.
You know me, huh?
Yeah, I hear you're the second best cop in L.A.
That's funny. I hear the same thing about you. Fucking deluded, pal. You never had a chance to hit me with that gun.
I've been on for 3 months. That makes it my case.
I guess that shows how stupid you are, because I've been on for about half an hour now, and here I am all caught up with you.
But they head into the room. We see a dead body that has an FBI wire on it.
Come on, go right side.
Wait a minute, we're on the same team. Will you just read this?
And it turns out they've been set up for this murder, and they're now suspects number 1 and 2.
I'm gonna blow both your fucking brains out.
No problem.
I'm convinced.
Man's hysterical.
We see someone has given them a fake audio tape to convict them. And even though, like to anybody else, it's pretty obvious that they are set up, the two of them do zero favors for themselves in the court.
Remind me to rip Jumbo there's tongue out.
With the tow truck, we have to pay Jabba the Hutt here a visit.
I'll bring the chainsaw.
Oh, this son of a bitch can speak English. I'm telling you, the square-crow can talk.
Square-crow?
Yeah, it's a bold strategy. Go ahead and threaten everybody in the courtroom. That's going to go well. But the two decide to plead no contest. However, they do have some pretty well-written statements.
Your Honor, I've been a policeman for 12 years. All the cops I've worked with are good cops. You are. That the whole department is not judged by what has transpired here.
Very well said, Tango. And now, Cash, your turn to speak.
Mr. Tango has spoken very eloquently. This whole thing fucking sucks. I mean, this is the biggest pile of shit.
Yeah, that's about what I would expect from you. But the two are put behind bars, and our criminals now feel a bit safer in their own drug dealings.
What happens in 18 months when they get out?
What makes you think they'll ever get out again?
And our two heroes have found themselves in the very prison where they put all the criminals they have arrested over their careers. They were supposed to go to the Martha Stewart prison. They wound up going to actual prison, and they meet their new roommates. One of them, who's played by Clint Howard, he does a great job. He's a little bit special.
Crazy people aren't afraid of anybody.
But that first night, the two are grabbed out of their beds. One goon just casually falls to his goddamn death. Like, nobody even gives him a second glance. Who cares? And the bad guys decide to take out the laundry. I am not sure how the entire prison population is allowed out of their cells right now, but they are, and we meet all the people who want them dead.
The infamous Cash and Tango.
As well as our shadowy figures of the very criminal bosses who set them up.
Taunty Tango, you're a pretty boy, aren't you? How'd you like me to change it for you?
Okay, so this actor is named Brion James. He was originally hired to play this character, and he was supposed to be a very small role with literally only 2 speaking lines. And in an effort to give his character something that would make him kind of stand out more, Brion James decided to speak in this horrible Cockney accent.
Tighten a lovely winter night for you, eh?
Sylvester Stallone loved it so much that he actually rewrote the script to make his character a much bigger role in the movie. But the two are chained up, they're dipped into some electrocution baths, it's all very elaborate. Also, I'm not going to question the fact that the current's not traveling through the chain and hitting the guy holding the chain, but I don't know, I'm just asking questions. I don't know how electricity works. I don't even know how a microwave works. It's like a fucking mystery box. But the guards show up, they clear everybody out. Cut to a little bit later, we meet the deputy warden, who turns out to be an old friend of Cash's, and he wants to help them escape. So Cash follows the plan, but Tango, doesn't really think it's going to work out, so he stays behind.
You don't have to. I hope you make it on the outside, Cash.
And for a good reason, because on his way out, we see the deputy warden was killed, and the baddies are at the escape hatch. Thankfully, Tango does that thing. He shows up at the last second, helps our boy get away, and then the two initiate the escape together.
Okay, no problem. We jump to those wires, slide down the other side, and we're home free.
Okay, do you guys remember earlier when I said Jackie Chan wrote his own kind of love letter back? Well, here we go. He did this stunt in his movie Super Cop as a response. But yeah, Cash escapes. Tango gets stuck on the roof fighting some baddie. I really don't think anybody understands how electricity works because those wires are insulated, but yeah, never mind. Tango escapes. That's all that's important. He escapes as well. And he's dead. Dude, that is such a hell of a jump. How did you survive that? But the two run away. They both go about getting ready to exact revenge on the people who set them up. And Cash meets up with a real-life video game character, and he just skips through all the dialogue options.
Who are you? What are you doing here? Who the hell do you think you are? Excuse me?
Oh my god, look who it is. I love me some Michael Jeter, personally. You Airbud stealing bastard. God, you look so young, too. Good for you. But Cash learned some info about the setup. Tango learned some info, and then Cash heads out to the club Tango told him to contact him at. Ooh, okay, no, we just gotta move on. I'm getting too distracted with this. But her and Cash get out of the club. They go to meet up with Tango. They have some amazing disguises.
Hey, Lynn, let's go!
Aerobics instructor, huh? Kiki? Chance of a three-way?
Ooh, okay, for real? We need to really move on. But Kurt, baby, you are rocking the shit out of those heels. But back at her place, the two have a little miscommunication.
What's the story with you and Ray?
What do you mean? Just move it around real slow.
Deeper.
Oh my God, Gabe, I can feel it going in.
Oh, harder.
Oh, it's almost in.
One of these amazing awkward moments that our movies love to do to us. She's really into giving back rubs. But we have no time because we see a man at the back door.
Ray?
And whoever made that Harry Potter voodoo screen door deserves a goddamn raise. It repaired itself. It's incredible.
By the way, your girlfriend.
My sister! My what?
But his commanding officer tells them one of the baddies' addresses, and the two run into him at his apartment.
Easy, mate. Been expecting you.
Shame. Don't you know ponytails are out this season?
They have a quick conversation up on the roof.
Yo, hold drop me.
Plan A is definitely a loser.
Big time. Let's go to plan B.
This is plan B.
It's payback.
That's enough. I mean it. You blew it big time, pal. This asshole's out of control and I can't stop it.
Burrhead!
You just fell for the oldest routine in the book.
And the bad cop, good cop routine worked flawlessly.
Bad cop?
Worst cop.
Sorry, you're right. Bad cop, worse cop. But they do learn where Parrot Man works. So before the mission, the two suit up. They head to Cash's techie guy, Owen. He's basically like his own little 007 gadget guy.
Double armored, bulletproof glazing all around.
Oh my God.
Okay, no offense, that car looks like shit. that thing belongs on that shitty car mod subreddit. But they use the vehicle to break into the base. They are followed by an insane arsenal of bad guys right into a rock quarry. And then, not that it should surprise you, but this scene was filmed in a real quarry in Armandale, California. So every sequence they filmed, they had at least 11 cameras on them because most of these sequences were so dangerous here that the stunt teams were only allowed to shoot them a single time. I mean, it's awesome. There's so much fire. There's so much explosions. There's a lot of testosterone. Everybody wants to punch something. But once they stop, they get into the building. We see they have kidnapped Catherine somehow. Yeah, last second, add more energy to the scene. And they've also set the facility to self-destruct because all buildings in the 80s could self-destruct. I don't know who put buttons like that in the buildings, but every bad guy is very grateful. And during the fight, the two of them bond a little bit more.
Look out!
You're lucky.
I've been shot plenty of times. I never felt lucky about it.
So the two run into our Cockney bastard and Catherine. And even though he has the clear upper hand, they all engage in hand-to-hand combat because it's so manly.
You think it's a dud?
And then, in case we forgot, Parrot Man is into some weird shit and he likes mazes and boxed mice. He also has a hall of mirrors in his house, because why the hell not?
How'd you know which one to shoot?
You saw the ring, right?
No, the monogram. We clever or what? Come on, let's blow this place.
I've said it once, I'll say it again. Bad guy buildings have some very clever contractors. I don't know who would build this, but I'm grateful they did. And then in perfect 80s action, the three of them run out of the facility right as it explodes. That's pretty 80s, but can we go ahead and make it a little more 80s? There we go. Yes! The movie is over, and it's frickin' amazing. So with the energy up high, let's head on over to Redeye Reacts.
Cash, let me load up your fucking barrel! Tango, I'm gonna wear you in my shirt like my bitch! Cash, I'm gonna kick your fucking ass, bootleg! Cash, I'm gonna put brown sugar in your ass!
Oh no, one of those threats is not like the other. One of those guys has a weird fetish.
What'd you do, stop a coffee and a Danish?
I hate Danish.
We might say that's a cute little line. What you stop for coffee and a Danish? And then Tango says, I hate Danish. That's actually a joke Sylvester Stallone wrote in because he had recently divorced his wife, Bridget Nielsen, who is Danish. Okay, I saw this connection and I just can't resist.
I got some good news and bad news. Which one do you want first? The bad. We're almost out of gas. The good. We're almost out of gas. We had just enough fuel to make it to San Juan. We are out of fuel.
I think one of the reasons this movie is so amazing is because the back and forth between Sylvester and Kurt, and there's like a lot of other great scenes too. So I have put together a little compilation, and here we go.
Well, what do you think?
I think with your IQ, you're unarmed and still very dangerous.
Hey, that crapper is mine.
We're gonna get one thing straight right now. That is yours.
I don't know yet.
Yeah, you don't know shit.
This is my fiance, Slicky. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing?
Soap, and don't flatter yourself, Pee-wee.
We jump to those wires, slide down the other side, and we're home free. As long as you're only touching one wire and you're not touching the ground, you don't get electrocuted, right?
I don't know.
I don't either.
Check out the pooch. A new invention in senior citizen home protection.
My life isn't worth shit.
That's true. Look, Cash, if one of us doesn't make it back, I just want you to know that you're the best cop I ever worked with.
Well, if you don't make it back, and I do, I am gonna date your sister.
That was everything. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't seen Tango and Cash, you literally need to go watch it right now because it's so good. I'm really disappointed that the two of them aren't in more movies. Like, the only other one I can think of is like Guardians of the Galaxy 2, but they don't really have scenes together. Have they been in anything else? People, let me know. If you liked the video, please subscribe to the channel, hit the thumbs up, leave some comments. Thank you to the patrons. They picked today's movie and they hit it out of the goddamn park. You all are incredible. If you would like the power to vote on future movies, head to that page, link down below. I have a Discord channel that is also down below, and I have a merch store, which is also down below. Thanks again so much. I will see you next time, and until then, stay happy and stay healthy.
Shame. Don't you know ponytails are out this season?